I spent so many years arguing with reality, fighting what is, swimming against the tides. I used to take things so personally. But Parkinson's is like a storm. It's like a burning, it burns away everything that we cannot use on our journey. We can't fight it. It is already within in many ways. We have to work with it. We are transformed, for better or worse, into entirely different people sometimes. We might lose friends and we might become inconvenient. We don't have to make people wrong. Everyone has their bandwidth. It's okay if you want to leave, I'll step aside. Because not only do I like my own company, but I know that that space that you will leave will have something else. And that's okay too. You know that you are someone who I wish well on your journey. Behind me, there's a little bird feeder. I was watching these hummingbirds earlier. They were flashing like opals in this early morning light that was streaming across. It was so incredibly beautiful that I started crying just for the joy of being able to witness that. So it's these little things that matter. I was reading Adyashanti, The End of Your World. He's pretty great. This much is assured: if we argue with reality for any reason, we will go into division. That's just the way it works. Reality is simply what it is, and as soon as we have anything in us that judges it, condemns it, says that it shouldn't be, we'll feel that division. Most of us are taught that to go into division about certain things is natural. We're taught that we should be, or that we would be deluding ourselves if we didn't go into division, like about our own suffering or someone else's. As if we wouldn't really be a feeling person if we didn't internally experience a certain divisiveness and devastation given particular events. But this is one of the surprising, shocking parts of coming into the deeper realms of realization. We know there isn't a justified reason to argue with reality because we'll never win the fight. Arguing with reality is a sure way to suffer. A perfect prescription, in fact, for suffering. So go or be dragged. There's a beautiful book by Linda Olson. She's a triple amputee, one of my absolute heroes. I have more respect for her than I can possibly say. Her son wrote in the end of her book about his father and his reaction to his mother's losing 3 limbs and also getting Parkinson's. Linda is quite amazing. Her son writes of his father: "My dad has shown me that a person is more than her body parts, that everyone has a character worth appreciating, that more exists than just what is on the surface. As a couple, my parents reveal the dedication and the effort required in a genuine partnership. I've learned that what some call sacrifice is actually a combination of compassion, respect, and willingness, even eagerness to change for someone else. That's love." And another quote that I was thinking about was Haruki Murakami, because Parkinson's feels like a storm. We're just tossed about. I mean, I've had a battery pack inserted, 2 brain surgeries. I'm getting DBS. Yesterday I was starting my programming. It was a long day. Very subtle changes. It's not the like, boom, the world's on, the baby can hear for the first time kind of a thing. It's a process. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. We were singing and dancing, and we did a split during this. It was fun. More about that later. Here is Haruki Murakami. "And once the storm is over, you won't remember how you made it through or how you managed to survive. You won't even be sure if the storm is really over. But one thing is certain. When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. And that's what the storm's all about. I wonder what will happen next." I've learned so much from teachers, harsh teachers, loving, kind, gentle teachers, beautiful, brilliant friends, and strangers. I step aside and let you go. on your way. If you come back around my way, what a party we'll have. If you choose not to do that, I wish you well. We're all a bit like these crystals with these little flaws on them, these little inconsistencies, these foggy, smoky bits. I was watching the birds in the feeder behind me flash like opals in the night. These little hummingbirds kept kind of showing up, glittering. First, I thought I was going to the hallucinatory stages of Parkinson's, which may come someday. But indeed, they were real birds. And so I thought about the phoenix, the bird that creates its own funeral pyre, because the phoenix knows that everything it needs for transformation, for the next step, for the higher self, is within already. Everything not necessary can burn away. And yet there's no feeling of loss or grief there. It's just change. It's alchemy. It's bound to happen. Go or be dragged. So Parkinson's is tough, and you will lose friends who may consider you an inconvenience. It's not personal. I know it feels like it, but it's not. Thank you, Garrett, for your letter. I really appreciated that. Your words came at the perfect time. So I dedicate this talk to you. Transformation talk. The phoenix from the flame. Let's do this thing. We got this.